Hello, and welcome to this presentation of the ARP Funding Review. This presentation is meant to give you an overview of the amount of funding the Moravia Central School District is eligible to receive, the timeline it must be spent by, the restrictions and the amounts already reserved for specific expenditure categories, and to solicit input on how you think the district should move forward with these funds. ARP stands for the American Rescue Plan. This act was passed in March of 2021. Much uncertainty loomed about the fate of these funds and how they would trickle down from the state of New York to schools once the law was passed. This made for a lot of angst and variables when developing our local budget. Fortunately, the law made certain that schools received their proper share. Moravia's total share from the ARP Act is $3,095,494, which represents the largest allocation of the three stimulus bills that have recently been passed. Although it was the largest amount of funding, it also comes with the most amount of rules and the requirement to seek out public input when developing a spending plan for the funds. Moravia's allocation can be used for expenditures dating back to the beginning of the pandemic, identified in the bill as March 13, 2020, until September 30, 2023, with the option to extend that deadline to September 30, 2024, with what is known as a tidings amendment. Furthermore, portions of this allocation must be spent on specific items such as learning loss, summer learning, and after-school programming, with the remaining allotment able to be used for a wide range of needs. The ARP Act allocated nearly $9 billion to New York State. The law requires that 90% be allocated directly to LEAs, local educational agencies, and the remaining 10% to be distributed by states in amounts not less than 5% to address learning loss, not less than 1% to carry out summer programs, and not less than 1% for after-school programming. 90% allocations are based on Title I enrollments. These rules can be quite confusing, so we've added the chart as a visual to show how Moravia's funding is broken down. The left column shows Moravia's portion of the 90% that all districts are sharing in. Moravia's amount equates to $1,880,300 and was calculated by a formula using our Title I enrollments, which is determined by the number of our low-income families. Of that amount, 20% must be spent on learning loss, leaving a remainder of $1,504,240 for the district's discretion. The right column represents the remaining 10% of the $9 billion the state was awarded. The allocation Moravia is set to receive from that bucket totals $1,215,194, with $173,603 required to be spent on both summer programming and after-school programming, respectively. The remaining $867,988 must also be spent on learning loss. This slide shows a visual of the spending breakouts required by the federal and state mandates. We are extremely appreciative of this funding source to help our district move forward from the pandemic and meet the new realities that were born from it. With that being said, we must keep in mind some important key points as we develop our spending plan. First and foremost is to remember that this is a one-time infusion of cash. Once the money is gone, it is gone. We cannot assume or rely on future stimulus packages like we've received since the start of the pandemic. The next point to remember, which piggybacks on the first, is that we must be mindful of the type of expenditures we are making with these funds. Making one-time purchases that don't come with future annual costs is one option. Another option is to use these funds in coordination with the general fund, with the idea that we slowly build the expenditures into the budget over the next few years so that when the federal funding is gone, we can maintain and continue these additions through the annual budget. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. As you can see, we have a great opportunity to enhance our district and reclaim the education that was impacted by COVID-19. With that being said, we would appreciate your input by completing the survey that has the link available below. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact Jeff Lawrence, the school business administrator, either through email or by calling the district office. Thank you.